about 3 to 5 people, and I get to learn about you. And then we also see if you're a good fit to do our training system, to go through our VIP training system with us and become what we call part of our VIP mastermind. And so I would love to connect with you if you think that what you're learning in the Full Body Fix is great and you'd like to learn how to go even further. Then it's all about you session would be an ideal option thing for you to schedule. So to schedule that, you go to chat in the Zoom toolbar, go to chat, click on chat, and then you would go to the link that says it's all about you. Patricia's dropped the link in the chat now. So before we go to Q&A, I want to be able to give you clear directions on that. And it specifically says, this is the session link to schedule a semi-private session with Robbie. You'd go to the chat, you'd click on that. And when you click on that, you'll get a calendar. And in that calendar, you'll have the opportunity to meet with me personally. And then we can get into your specific goals and objectives and see if we're in fact a perfect fit for continual body optimization beyond the Full Body Fix. So if that sounds interesting to you and something you'd like to do, then I would love to meet with you. So please go ahead and do that if you think that's a good fit for you. And now we will go into our Q&A. So questions, answers, comments, positive shares. How do you participate in that? The way you participate in that is you would go down to reactions. It says reactions in your Zoom toolbar. It's like a smiley face emoticon with a plus sign. You'd click on that and then you'd click raise hand. And the order in which you raise your hand for the meeting participants is the order in which I'll call on you. Okay. One more time and then we'll get started. Click on reactions. And then once you click on reactions, which is the smiley face with the plus sign, you'll click raise hand, and that's how you would chat with me. And remember, if you want to schedule a semi-private consultation with me, you can go to the chat, click on that opportunity to do that, and then you and I can meet together in a semi-private session. With that, our first up is Jason. Hello to you. Welcome, Jason. Good day, sir.
Hello.
You're unmuted. You're
Cool.
unmuted.
Just a real quick question. That was a lot of stuff to take in. What I've been doing, like after my workout, I've been doing like the 90-90 split. I don't really know what you called it, but where you kind of, with the yoga strap where you put it on around the top of your foot and you bring your leg up and like frog pose. When is like the best time to do all these exercises? Like adding, like I've been doing everything like after my workout. Is that okay? Or should it be like all this stuff like kind of on a separate day? Or should it be before a workout?
So all of the mobility exercises, like when should you do that stuff?
Right.
Yeah. The best time to do the mobility exercises depends on what kind of mobility exercise it is. So for example, if you have stretches where you're going to do what we call active static stretch, that is where you're doing a sustained hold stretch. The best time to do that, you could do a little bit kind of like for a few seconds, kind of easy before training, but I wouldn't really go deep on that before strength or conditioning or any exercise where you're going to have a fast motion or any level of heavy motion. Okay. You want to do that after the training, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Then what you want to do before that training, mobility exercise such as warm-up, such as, for example, like an arm circle like this, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a form of mobility exercise. This is a form of mobility. You're getting a stretch here, you're getting a stretch all the way through the motion. This is what we call dynamic mobility. Dynamic mobility is best done before your strength and or faster type of strength training motion. So if you're going to do something athletic, you could do like walking kicks, right? You'd kick your legs while you're walking. For example, that would be like a hamstring stretch that's in a dynamic mobility. This is great before your training. So you want to, and the reason why, so now let's just briefly talk about the why. So why is because the tissue in the dynamic mobility, you're stretching with motion. So you're priming the tissue for motion. In other words, you're training the contractile fibers for activity. So you have skeletal muscle that contracts. And the reason why I always go like this every time I show with my hands is you have these protein structures called actin and myosin. So these actin and myosin protein structures attach to each other. And what's really interesting, the way muscles work is through energy production. They're able to release from one bond and climb on to the next. And when your muscle's in a long position, there's less bridging of your contractile tissue. So in dynamic mobility, you're getting them to kind of work kind of fast and crawl over each other. So you're basically like warming them up to do activity. Whereas when you do active static stretching, you're stretching all the encasing around the contractile fiber, which puts these guys in a longer position, which means they have less bridging, which means now you're more exposed to a tissue tear and muscle tear. So if you do a lot of static stretching, so like those individuals that'll stand at a curb and keep stretching their calf for sustained periods of time, that's an increased likelihood for muscle tears when running by continually to hold those static stretches. So static stretches happen afterward to elongate the muscle fiber, the fibers around the contractile structure, and dynamic mobility happens before. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I just hold like the stretches for like 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds. Is that about right? On a static, like after.
Yeah, I mean, well, 2 minutes could even be right. Like it doesn't have to be, it just depends on what you're used to. Like if you're not really doing that much stretching now, then 15 to 30 seconds would be great. And then kind of build up to 30 seconds to a minute, even a little bit longer. And the big thing to know also about that type of stretching, so sustained holds, is don't try to work for the stretch. It's not like strength training. So you're not trying to like work for the stretch. What you're trying to do is relax the nervous system so that it lets the tissue go. In other words, you would use like breathing in through your nose, and you see me kind of closing my eyes because I'm showing you like the relaxation. You relax your nervous system, and because of that, it will release the tissue and your tissue will go longer. So you relax into stretches. You don't work for the stretches.
So you're not trying to push it to the limit.
Definitely not. Yeah, it's not like youth Chinese Olympics. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Which
no.
which shows a lot of bad body results. Those kids unfortunately get very messed up.
Oh yeah, sure.
And if no one's yeah, where they really stretch and try to go to the nth degree of mobility. Yeah. No, that's not a good way to train. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the info.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And up next with me here is Mary. Hello, Mary. Welcome. You're not unmuted yet. Yeah. Not yet.
Okay. Sorry.
There we go.
I was still talking to myself anyway. Yeah, I enjoyed the last session, but my situation is that I am currently using a walker and a wheelchair. And so to do these exercises today, I got up at the desk and stood here at the desk. And I hope it's appropriate or all right to do it this way, because that's the only way I can do it at the moment, is to hold on to the desk and do my best to manipulate my legs and my feet as best I can. And so I hope that was okay, because that's the way I did it. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's so it's what we call like exercise regression. So to every exercise we show, we have regressions to everything. So like one way is a lunge like this, but then there's a regressed way. And one of the things we do for our VIPs, so we call our clients VIPs. We don't ever call them clients because they're very important people who become very impressive physically. So what we do is we use bands. So we use a lot of band work. We use really strong bands. So for example, you can attach these bands to like the top of a door, and then you're able to use the bands to support you in different positions. You can use them for strength training. But yeah, for example, for you, if you attach a door anchor above the door and then put a band underneath your armpits, you'd be able to like support your upper body and do a lot of the motions, and it will pull you more up and forward and create a support structure for you. So yes, for now, it's fine you held onto the desk, but that would be an even better way for you to do that.
And do you think, I don't even know if you could help me in my, because I am a pretty disabled person, as you might know, or guess, for 6 years, I've been getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until I've, you know, yielded to the wheelchair now, finally, where's where I'm at now. But I have every hope to get back to volleyball. I think I've already told you this. But anyway, but I guess I'm hoping, and I don't know if your particular program can help me. And I have some money, but I don't know if I have as much money as you need. So I have some, and I can keep paying it. I can pay it incrementally. But that's where I'm at now. But I also realize that I can gain a lot just from watching your show, just the way it is right now, and I appreciate that as well. But I don't know if you can help me all the way, or I mean, I think it's just that we'll have to take it in pieces, and I'm not sure we can do it in pieces, but you can tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have, for our VIPs who need extra help, they need some next level of individualization. We have something called VIP Platinum, where you meet with one of our, so you go through all of our VIP training system, just like other VIPs do, but you have a doctor on our team who you meet with for an hour every week. And it could be like 2 half-hour sessions or an hour. And they evaluate your body, your health, your mechanics. And we also have a medical doctor who's an orthopedic specialist. And so with them plus our rest of our team, we adjust and change things however is needed for you to customize everything for you. So that would be our VIP Platinum system. And so, yeah, and we have all types of individuals, all kinds of autoimmune conditions and balance issues. We have breathing issues, and we've had VIPs who have had their jaw crushed and it changed their breathing pathways, and then they have balance issue. They have all kinds of health and medical complications, and they've actually had really significant results. It's really amazing. But for individuals who really have the next level of health complications, we have the next level of care as needed. And sometimes it's joint issues, like really have a bad hip, really have a bad shoulder. So, we can help assist going through our regular VIP training system. So we have 2 different tiers depending on what's needed. Yeah.
I guess I'm just thinking though, I'm basically on, well, I don't even want to tell you what I'm on, but in a serious situation. But I can pay, and my mother is willing to help too, and has a trust fund for me, and so on and so forth. But it's just that she's willing to pay in incremental amounts. And I just don't know if you'll be able to go with that, but we can talk about it with whoever. So I don't know if this can be possible. You can let me know.
Yeah, we could. So it'd be great for you to you can either schedule a semi-private session, or you could message Patricia about that. In the Q&A, I like to stay focused on how to help you. But on that part that you're talking of, you can schedule a semi-private and we can talk about those things in session, or you can message Patricia and you can find out specifics about about that. Yeah.
Thank you. And I appreciate you letting me have dinner while I'm sitting here.
All good.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mary. You're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. And message Patricia. She can help you directly with that. And hello, Judith. Welcome. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you, Judith?
I'm good. I'm very good. I consider myself a very young elder, but I have a very bad knee. My right knee is very bad. I think one of my biggest questions is, what would be the added benefit to experiencing most of these exercises that are done standing in water? Because I find that there's less pressure on the joints and that sort of thing. I've worked both in the water, excuse me, and on physical therapy floor, and at various times in my life. I've really missed the swimming because I haven't had that available to me during the pandemic. So I haven't been swimming much at all. Well, not at all. So, so that would be my first question. Is there added benefit to doing those exercises in the water? Secondly,
Can
I
I
have,
answer the first question? Because
sure,
yeah, that way I can focus on one and then we can go on to the next question.
Okay.
So yes, water's awesome. I highly recommend doing exercise in water. We're all, well, most of us, some full body fixers are in other parts of the world, not in the US and not in the Americas. So water's awesome. Love it. It's great. It's a great place to do your conditioning. In other words, your aerobic activity. It's
Right.
low impact, low mechanical stress. Highly suggest it. But in terms of strengthening the tissues, it can be so low impact that it's low stimulus. So in that case, you're not going to strengthen as much. You're not going to get the bone density, the joint strengthening, the tissue strengthening that you would out of the water, depending on what kind of exercise you're doing. So it would be a good regression for strength training, but we'd also want to do a lot of the strength training on land. And just like I was sharing with Mary, there's ways to use like bands to be able
Right.
to decrease load and decrease the pressure that's placed on the knee to be able to
Okay.
build up your strength levels. So it depends on like what's right for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the
Well,
time. And
even
the
if I
answer,
could,
go
even
ahead.
if I could, you know, get in the water 2 days a week and do them, and then do them on land 3 or 4 days a week. I'm just asking, am I better off just sticking with doing them on the land and then do whatever other exercise I do in the pool, or take these land exercises to the pool and use them there as well?
Yeah, it's a great idea to use the land exercise in the pool. Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you're having both, and that's really great. Yeah,
Okay.
really.
And my second thing is that I have a lot of difficulty getting down on the floor and getting back up. And now I know there are, you know, I've seen videos and I've followed videos on how to get down on a mat and get up, you know. And so I can do that, but it's a very uncomfortable position for me. And I noticed when you were doing those exercises, whatever they were, that your back was practically flat to the floor, and mine always arches. So will that flatten out as time goes on if the exercises are done properly, or is that
Yes, they
something
can.
I'm just stuck with?
No, they can't. It depends on your current back alignment and position, but yeah, absolutely. Your alignment on the floor and what you're talking about will absolutely improve. And you'll develop better what we call motor control. And motor control is simply like your nervous system's ability to control your body positioning. This can drastically improve. And as that improves and as you have better awareness of your pelvis, then your back will get in better alignment. Because the lower back alignment is actually all about the pelvis, which you'll learn about
Right.
in the next session of the full body fix.
Okay.
It's actually more about the pelvic alignment for lower back than it is about the actual lower back.
Okay. Then I have a third question, or is this the
Okay.
fourth? I lost count.
I think it's the third.
Okay. Well, I said I have this really bad right knee, and I favor it. And I follow the instruction by the orthopedist who says, you know, go up with the good and down with the bad. And so I avoid flexing those both knees on a step process going downstairs. I do it coming upstairs. I use both legs, you know, coming upstairs, but going downstairs, I go down with the good, I go down with the right foot, bring my left foot, down with the right, bring my left foot. But I noticed the other day after we were talking about the foot alignment and the knees and so forth, that if I use the guardrail, I can actually take the pressure off of that knee and actually go you know, 1 foot down. It's very frightening to me because I don't want to fall.
Mhm.
But is there a benefit to continuing to try to do that? Is that actually helping to build those muscles that support that knee? Or am I
Yes.
better off just doing the the muscle support exercises for a period of time before I continue to try to continue to do that?
Well, so what? Yes, ultimately you want to go down, be able to go down the stairs, but it depends on where you're at now in terms of your strength. So it'd be good to have a foundational level of strength before you do what's called eccentric. Okay,
Hmm.
so we have concentric muscle action. That's where the muscle shortens under
Right,
contraction, and then we
right,
have eccentric, and that's where the muscle lengthens when
right.
under contraction. So the down walking downstairs or down a hill is the eccentric, and exercise has everything to do with stimulus. So, but
Hmm.
sometimes we have to be careful with the stimulus. So sometimes the highest level stimulus that can get the best results is the highest level stimulus that creates the greatest level of breakdown because exercise is degeneration in your body. So you have to really control how much dosage of exercise stimulus you're getting. Because if you get the wrong dosage to the current condition, that's where we run into excess tissue breakdown, inflammation, even joint damage, and that type of thing. So
Right.
going down the stairs, the tissue is under contraction while being lengthened, and it creates microscopic tears in the tissue, which is can be a good thing. And
Oh,
it's actually it can be a good thing because now you're protecting your tissue from being broken down further because of the regenerative process after that.
hmm,
And it actually makes your knees less resistant to more resistant to damage. Okay. So, but where it can go wrong is if you're not ready for that. Like if you do that and now you have inflammation the next day, you immediately know,
right,
okay, it was too much. So
right,
another thing that's really important is you have your hip, your knee, and your foot in
right,
perfect alignment. You don't
right,
want your foot here and knee going that way.
right,
This is like a recipe for disaster. So you got to have your hip, your pelvis center, your hip
right.
lined up, your knee lined up, and your foot all going in. If you're doing that and you're doing it controlled, it's probably going to be good for you. At least a couple reps, do other work, and then build that downhill walking up. So
Okay, because even a ramp I find is, you know, kind of painful. I noticed that today coming back from the post office. I went up the ramp, no problem. But coming down, I have knee pain. Just walking down a simple
yeah,
wheelchair ramp.
yeah.
Um, and I was told 12 years ago that I would need a knee replacement in the next 2 years or whenever the pain got severe enough. And I decided that that wasn't for me. I'm just not I'm just not for mechanical parts. I know a lot of people are and they have great success, but I know a lot of people who haven't had such great success too. And at my age, a lot of
Right.
people are doing that. You
Yeah.
know, I don't want to go there.
Yeah. Usually the result from surgery like that has everything to do with prehab and then rehab. So prehab is keeping really strong before surgery and then having great rehabilitation afterward.
Right.
Usually the results are really high. If you have good surgeon and amazing training before and after, the result when needed for joint replay is the result is tremendous. It's
Hmm.
when you have an out of shape individual that goes and gets surgery and the surgeon was pretty good, and then the person kind of just follows physical therapy and they're not really a fitness person and then they just stop training, and this person usually the results are not, or they train dysfunctionally. They might
Hmm.
work out a lot, but they don't really train for function. They train on a
Right.
lot of machines, and it's all about the looks and the aesthetics, and they kind of train like that when they're younger, and they might even be a senior now and still train that kind of way. I've also seen really bad results with individuals like this as well because they're
Right.
still doing the thing that caused the damage in the first place. They're continuing to do that, right?
Okay. Then one last question, and I'll make it quick. um, I um, I had a fall about 10 years ago and I snapped off my humerus bone at the shoulder ball. And I've only regained about 80% of that function. And I was told by physical therapy that that's the best I can expect. I have those exercises. I can continue to do them, but I don't seem to get much result. Is it too late to get more result on that?
No.
if I continue to do those exercises?
No, I mean, it's like anything in life. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same result that you had before. So if it worked amazing for you, then it's probably going to work amazing for you again. Like for our system, one of the reasons why I'm so confident is because it's worked amazing for thousands of individuals. So I know it's going to
Right.
make it work amazing for others. So maybe not necessarily the exercise that you're doing, but with some modification to it, it'll work even better. So yeah,
Good.
I would suggest, like, shoulders is one of the areas that I've personally had in person 100% success rate with clients in the past. I no longer do in person work
Mhm.
with individuals, but all of my systems that I will use in person are all in our online training system now, which we
Yeah,
work on a personal level with. So we actually
Right.
watch you train, we video analyze you, we give you video feedback, we're there to support you, we do all kinds of next level support stuff. But yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt that your shoulder function could improve and improve significantly. Yeah.
good. I appreciate your help with these things. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sure.
And come see me for an It's All About You session. There's a lot of stuff there that sounds like a perfect match. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And
You're
you
welcome.
have very beautiful eyes.
Oh, well, thank you. The better to see you with.
Yeah. And up next, Ed. Hello, sir. Welcome. How are you? And Patricia sends you a link here to unmute. And I'll let you know when I see you're unmuted. Not yet. You're still not unmuted there, Ed. I don't know if you saw the link that Patricia sent you to unmute.
He should be unmuted now. Rob, don't send the link.
Okay.
I sent it.
Okay. Ed, are you seeing the link to unmute?
Somebody keeps
There we go.
asking me to unmute.
There we go.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking with
Oh,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry if there's any background noise. I'm trying to find out that my brother has a sciatic nerve, and he has not left his home for a long time, over a year, and he really needs to do exercise. And I'm wondering how would I be able to hook him up with you to have sessions or get him involved in this. I saw someone post a link in one of the texts. I copied that and I sent it to him. But is there a phone number or so he could call and arrange and explain his situation? Because I don't know it so well myself. What he actually needs.
Yeah. He can sign up for an It's All About You session. Is he coming to the Full Body Fix or?
He doesn't even know about this. I found out about it myself and I'm attending. But I would like him to attend because also I have to mention he just had like 2 stints inserted before he actually had a heart attack. And he's overweight. He needs to, get going slowly, but he needs to get going with
So
exercise.
Patricia could send the links. Patricia could send the links for you. It's for him to join the Full Body Fix. It's not too late. In fact, the next session we go into is the pelvis. So we talked a lot about the hips today, when actually the hip things we talked about have a lot to do with sciatic nerve and sciatica, a lot. Like if you have restricted internal rotation of the hip, that's a major factor in sciatica. So She can send you the links. She can also send you the replays, so you can share that with your brother. And if you'd like to schedule It's All About You session, she can provide that link to you as well.
Wonderful,
So,
wonderful.
So I'll have her message you privately and provide all those things to you.
Great, perfect. I don't really have any other questions because everything you're saying makes sense, and I'm gonna do it when I get home and look at the videos and everything. And thank you so much for your help and especially your patience and the way you're explaining everything so nicely. So for people who aren't so as quick, to grasp it, really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So thank you for saying thank you, Ed. Yeah. Okay, my age-defying achievers. If you want to find out how to go to the next level with us after the full body fix, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, I would love to meet with you in a semi-private session. Patricia has provided the link for you in the chat now. You go to the Zoom toolbar, click on chat, and then you can go to schedule an It's All About You session where you can meet with me in a semi-private meeting. I get to learn all about you, and we can see how if you're a perfect fit for our system. And one thing I do in this It's All About You sessions, if it's not a perfect fit, I'll give you the direction or connection to what is the best fit for you. So with that being said, let's give you the age-defying achievers here at the Full Body Fix. Let's give you one more opportunity to connect with me on any questions you have, comments, or positive shares. And how do you do that? In case you weren't familiar with Zoom, you'd go to the Zoom toolbar, which is on the bottom of your computer screen. You'd click on reactions, and then above reactions, so it has a little smiley face with the plus sign, click there, and then you'd click raise hand if you'd like to connect with me. And then you'll see, just like I have in my screen now, the hand would be raised. And then I'll call on you in the order which you raise your hand. And next up, we have Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome. And Patricia will send you a link, Elizabeth, to unmute yourself. And you'll just click on that link to unmute.
Okay, am I unmuted?
You sure are. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello, I'm in
Hello.
New Zealand and I've really enjoyed your 2 sessions so far. I have several questions for you. The first one is, how do I get recordings of all your lessons so that I can go over them again and get all the information, because you go pretty quickly and I missed a few pointers. So how do I get recordings of your sessions?
I've been brought to the screen to give you the answer. You
Okay.
are receiving emails. So we send after each body fix session an email with the replay and the exercise checklists.
Oh,
We
good.
are also sending on the WhatsApp group. If you are there, if you're going to receive, if you're not, I'm going to drop the link for WhatsApp group. And the third option is you may not be receiving the email because emails love to throw other emails in junk mail.
Okay, so I can look in the junk mail pile and see if you're there.
Yeah, or fourth
I don't
option,
see you.
you can send to me your email right now and I can forward to you session 1, and session 2 will be sent out today at
Okay,
about 5 p.m. PT. We are in
I
Arizona.
think I might have gotten the session 1 recording, but I just haven't gone through all this stuff on my computer. So
Oh,
let me wait
okay.
on that and see. If I get 2 days also, that's fine. The information in lesson 1 was awesome because I think my feet and ankles have always been a problem for me. And I'm 70, I'll be 78 in a couple of months. So I've had bunion surgery.
Congratulations. That's good.
Thank you.
It's a good achievement. It's a good achievement. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it's a long life and it's long enough. My left foot had bunion surgery, both on the little toe and the big toe, about 7 weeks ago. So I'm just sort of I had a cast for 2 months, 2 weeks, and then I've had a moon boot for the other 5 weeks that I can now take off for part of the time. And I have crutches that I can use part of the time if I'm going to do a lot of walking or ambulating around. So I'm just wondering which of those exercises I can do with that foot without damaging the surgery, until I get completely healed, and that'll probably be another couple of months.
What was this
And
procedure that you had done?
well, it was bunion surgery on the big toe and the little toe. Also, I have 2 screws in the arch of my foot and a staple between the big toe and the next toe over, and one in the little toe.
So
They straightened out. Yeah,
your surgeon really needs to clear you for exercise before I would,
Oh.
because I don't know the specifics, right? He saw the inside of your body. So did you have
Right.
some kind of bone fracture? What is the current condition of the bone? Before we really know how much load and stress you can place on that
Yeah.
foot, your
There
surgeon
was
is the
no
one.
bones.
Yeah, your surgeon is the one. Once you become full weight bearing and your surgeon is,
Right, I'm not quite there yet.
yeah, so I wouldn't recommend anything beyond what your surgeon has told you to do
Okay.
until it says, okay, okay, Elizabeth, now you can become full weight bearing. Once you can become full weight bearing, then we can start getting into some of those exercises.
Okay, but with the other foot that's not operated, I can go ahead and
Yeah.
do the exercises. And I found, golly, that like the 3-toe raise. I couldn't do it at all at the beginning, but by the end of the session, I could do it some, and it gets
That's
better
awesome.
each day. Yeah, right. So it's better today and maybe tomorrow even better. So there are a couple of the exercises, and I can do that. Actually, the arch massage
Mhm.
by lifting
Yeah.
all the toes and then massaging. I have actually done that without being told by the surgeon, because it actually feels good on the operated foot as well as the non-operated. So that was great. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate the information that you've given me, and it's a lot to absorb for me for a 78-year-old mind. You know, I'm a little slower at things than I used to be. So
It's interesting because like in our VIP training system, one of the things that we do is we actually help also prevent age-related cognitive decline, because when you need
Yes.
to learn how to optimize motor control and body mechanics, you have
Right.
to train your neurological and your brain motor control system and then program your body to do those motions. Well, there's a lot of what we
Which
call
I've never
in science
done.
up regulation of functionality. And so new neurons are built and all kinds of stimulation is going off in your nervous system. So with our
That's what I
process, you're
need.
actually able to improve your cognitive and your muscular fights, the whole neuromuscular functionality. And that's
Wow.
it's actually part of the system. Yeah. And you know, for example,
I've never been a fitness person or exercised much.
okay.
I'm a retired optometrist, so I used to work a lot and didn't have much time for exercise and that. Yeah. And
Yeah,
also in my left knee, I have I don't have an ACL because it got ripped in half in an accident in 2007. So that knee is wobbly because it doesn't stay stable or straight when it needs to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
So hopefully with the exercises you give, I can
Yeah.
do better with it.
Especially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with that condition, you
I
gotta
appreciate
really, yeah, you have to especially pay attention. Yeah. Did you schedule an It's All About You session, Elizabeth?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Should
I think
I?
that'd be, yeah, I think you should. I think that'd be good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
do
you have-
that then. Thank
you
you
have a lot-
so much. I appreciate all your help.
You're so very
great.
welcome. And I'm grateful to be here and help you and help all of our
Okay.
full body fix
Then
attendees.
I'll schedule that appointment with you.
Awesome. I'll have
Thank
Patricia
you.
reach out to you to do that. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And by the way, New Zealand is a place that I plan to travel to. I haven't been there yet, but it's definitely on my
Wow.
on
It's
my
a
list of
beautiful
places.
country.
Yeah, I
Beautiful
see.
to visit.
I
It
see
is.
that. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the North Island is different in climate and that than the South Island. So you need to see both.
Okay, good to know.
You get a
Good to
good
know.
idea of
Oh,
it.
that's the
Yeah.
plan. I have already a whole thing plan on New Zealand. We just need to get in a plane and go.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, good.
Thank
Good
you,
on you.
Elizabeth.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, full body fixtures. Before we close out, one last round. If anyone would like to ask a question, comment, positive share with me, I'll go ahead and give you that opportunity. We'll give you just one last opportunity before we close out today's full body fix session. And again, in case you don't know how to do this, or you could always just message Patricia in the chat too if you can't figure it out. She can help you. Go to your Zoom toolbar, click reactions. On reactions, then you'll be able to click raise hand, or just find Patricia in the chat. Hey, Patricia, I need help. Just go in the chat box and click that and tell her you need it, and she can help you also. And with that being said, Betty. Hi, Betty. How are you? Good day. And Patricia will send you a link there to unmute. You'll be able to just click that, okay, you want to unmute.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, just thank you for your instructions. And I'm wondering, I'm not quite sure, looking at my screen, how I message Patricia, because in the chat it says send to, and mine says everyone. But how would I send it just to her?
It has a little drop down menu in the chat. And then when it has an arrow pointing down. And when you click there, you're going to see all the participants. And then you can choose me. Or I will send you a message right now to make life easier.
Or if anybody during the full body fix can't figure that, you just go to everyone and, hey, Patricia, I want to talk to you.
Okay.
And then she'll direct message you and she'll figure it out for you. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's actually part of our VIP training system. Everything's online. So not only do we help you with your body, your musculoskeletal health, but we actually have tech experts that guide our VIPs to make all of the online system easy to use. You have a personal guide that helps you with all the tech as well.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. And so, yeah, in case anyone didn't know, you go to chat, you click on that. And then when you left click on that arrow, then you can scroll down and find the person you want. Or for example, for Patricia, you just start writing PAT, and then Patricia will pop up and you can select that one.
That's the first time in the full body fix that somebody wants to talk just to me.
Yeah. I can go take a break now, and we'll put Patricia on for you guys are such a great audience. I absolutely love working with you. I'm really enjoying going through this full body fix together. I love your questions. Hope you all have learned a lot and apply this very well. And remember, if you need help, just message us and we're here to help you. Okay. And then when we're in the full body fix at the end of each session, we'll always have a Q&A at the end of every session. So if you have questions or doubts, you just message us and we'll give you as much help as you need. So we're here to support you and make sure you get the very best benefit out of what we're going through here together. And before we close out, oh, are you saying, Sheila, would you like to talk with me? Or are you saying bye? She was waving her hand. So Patricia will have the link dropped in the chat one more time. If you'd like to meet with me in a semi-private session, I'm happy to do that with you, get to know you a little bit better, learn about your goals, your objectives, and also see if our VIP training system would be a right fit for you. And to do that, you just go to chat box. At the bottom is your Zoom bar. Click there, and then there's a link that Patricia has put into the chat, and you can click that link. And then you'd be able to schedule. If you can drop that again, Patricia. So then you can go into the chat, click, and then you'd be able to schedule that way. And we'll leave the meeting open in case you want to look at some of the links and chats and that type of thing. We'll leave the meeting open, but we're going to close out our Q&A session now. And if you'd like to find links or you want to message Patricia, you can do that in the chat here. We'll keep the meeting open for another 10 to 15 minutes. So if you have anything you'd like to communicate on or find in the chat, you can do that. Much love to you. Make it a great rest of your Monday. And I will see you, or Tuesday potentially, for those of you in New Zealand. And I'll see you back here on Wednesday, Pacific time, whichever session time is best for you for session 3. We'll see you then. Much love to you.